you ever taken a look at the headlines on the news, or maybe in the headlines of your personal life, and thought, things are really getting out of control? There's no way God sees this. There's no way that He is watching all of this happen and just standing by. You have mentioned a few times that I've been reading in the book of Ezekiel, and so many times, repeatedly in the book of Ezekiel, God in the Old Testament brings a warning through the prophet Ezekiel and says, tell my people that I see what they're doing, and I'm not going to stand for it. There are many different ways that he says it, and because of many different circumstances that he says it to them. And I've kind of been pondering our current setting, our current season, whether it is an increase of violence that you see in the news, an increase of distrust between neighbors, who's knocking on my door and what do they want, a decrease of confidence in walking from the store to your car. So many things happen when we feel like that. Like, first off, and if I'm continually afraid of the person to the left and to the right of me because they may be that person who's going to grab me and snag my purse, am I going to be bold and talk to them about Christ? Probably not. So I wonder if the enemy is using some of the newsreels of today to put us all into a place of isolation. Here's the thing. Over and over again, God says through the prophet Ezekiel, hey, you guys better cut it out. I'm not going to stand for this anymore. He said it in Genesis when Noah built the ark. Hey, I'm not going to stand for this anymore. He said it again throughout the Old Testament. And we saw the culmination of mankind saying, we're going to live the way we want. We're going to do what we want. And it's going to be messed up, but we are going to do it anyways. And God's saying, I'm telling you, I'm not standing for this anymore. I'm not standing for this anymore. He is, I was reminded today, He is El Roy. He's the God who sees. And even though the outcry for evil to be suppressed was so great, the people continued to do what they were doing. They were sacrificing their children in the fire to gods who had nothing to do with getting them where they were. They were worshiping idols. They were turning their backs on the Lord. And even though all of these things were happening, the Bible says, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And so there are some things that I know. As bad as the newsreel of earth gets, there is a newsreel in heaven, and God sees. He knows. And He is not turning a blind eye to what's happening in our day and in our season. Whether it's personal and in your home, or whether it's external and in the community, in the nation, or around the world, He sees and He knows and He acts. He sends angels to protect, and He also It changes times and seasons and brings down powers and raises up powers, and he is God and we are not. I know that he sees and that he knows. And secondly, I know that in spite of who we are at our worst, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. He loves this world. He loves mankind, and he wants mankind to turn and come to him. And there's something else that I know. Jesus, who died, was buried, and rose back to life, ascended to heaven. He is returning in victory. He is the victorious one. He is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. We have no reason to fear, and we have no reason to despair. He is returning in victory. And so today, as you go out this week, if you see in your Instagram feed the violence that's happening here or there in our country or the next, in our community or the next, turn your eyes to Jesus. For the joy set before him, he went to the cross. He loves us so much. And he is returning in victory. It's going to be a great day.